Hey guys, what's going on? Greenville Gear. Back with another video, and I think I've mentioned it in the last couple videos that I was going to do it, and I'm doing it. I have a small, although growing stack, as you see here, of vintage slabs that have come in. And one of the things that I've done recently is thought, okay, I need to focus my collection. There's so many cool cards in the world that it's like, I just keep picking up stuff and going in random directions. And, like a lot of you, I don't have unlimited funds to do that. And so one of the things I've really purposely focused on is picking up vintage Hall of Famers. And I'm inspired by some channels out there, Vintage Card Steve and David M and people who have some really cool collections. And so I'm just picking up 1950s, 1960s Hall of Famers if I can. And I've had a lot of fun doing it. So I've got 5 slabs, as you see here. I think 5. Yeah, 5 slabs to show you. And I'll talk through kind of what directions I'm going and so on, some of the pickups. These all haven't come in the last week. Far from it. I think they've all come in the last 2 or 3 months. And so I've been slowly but surely kind of pecking away at this. So I want to show you the first card. And this is a Duke Snider card, and it's in a GMA slab, and I'll talk about that in just a second. But this is the 1959 Topps Duke Snider in a 5.5 from GMA. And I just thought it looked great. The centering is good, and one of the things I've been trying to do in the vintage pickups I've been doing is just, I don't need a 7 or an 8 or something like that, obviously, and those are just so expensive. And I don't even need a 6. I just want cards that look like vintage cards. They've got some love and some wear, and especially they look to the eye appealing. They're centered and those kinds of things. So this Snider kind of fit that description. So I picked this up, and I'm excited about it. So it's in the GMA slab, and part of the reason I got that is I thought, okay, I'll do my first experiment in cracking this out, and I will submit to PSA, because I thought, okay, if I'm going to do this, I don't care too much about my slabs. I collect SGC and PSA, and I'm happy to do both. But I thought for this kind of part of the collection, I would do these in just PSA slabs. And so I picked up the GMA slab because I thought, okay, well, I've got a good bet. It's not certain that the card is authentic and hopefully not trimmed. And I guess I would find out if I cracked it out, and I might get burned. But I'll keep this flip, and then when I get it back in 6 months, 9 months, you'll see this Duke Snider card again, and it'll be fun to see and compare what PSA gives it. So this one's going to need a reslab to stick with this collection. The next 4 don't. I think the first one I picked up once I decided to head down this road is this Monte Irvin, and accomplished player in the Negro Leagues and Hall of Famer as well. And I picked it up. This is 1954 Topps. I picked it up in a PSA slab. It's PSA 4, as you see here. I just think the white border with the white background looks great. This centering actually is probably not the best, but I just think this is an absolutely beautiful card from an absolutely beautiful set. And I just loved it, and I just think it has great eye appeal. He's a Hall of Famer, and so I was excited to add this one. And this was, I think, like I said, maybe the first one I picked up. Maybe I picked up the Duke Snider. I can't remember. Either the Snider or the Irvin. And kind of got this thing rolling, which is a lot of fun. Up next is a pretty big card for me, and I didn't own a card from this Hall of Famer. This is my very first one of his, and it's a Willie Mays card. So that's pretty cool. And again, this is a card that's got one of those fisheye dots and all that kind of stuff, and I don't care so much about that. This card just looked to me to be a beauty. This is a 1961 Topps Willie Mays, and it's in a PSA 5, and the centering is pretty good. The corners are decent, and it just is a beauty. And so my first and only Willie Mays in my collection. I'm trying to focus on him and a few other players. The prices are so expensive, but I had to get one in my collection. And so this was one of these cases on eBay where it was listed pretty high, and I went pretty low, just kind of looking around at what these went for, and the seller accepted. And so he was happy, or she was happy, and I was happy. So Really happy to get a Willie Mays in my collection. So that's the 1961. Two more cards to show you, and keeping up with the 1961 theme. And this is my first card of this player, Luis Aparicio, famous Venezuelan, played for the White Sox forever. And this is also 1961 tops, and this one is in a 6. So really kind of a sharp card and nice and centered, and just love it. And I just think it has great eye appeal. And I'm happy that this Aparicio is in my collection. So there is that in a 6, as I mentioned. I think, what did I say? The Mays is a 5. I think those look pretty cool side by side. Pretty neat. And then the last card is a card that I actually had for some reason in my collection raw from being a kid. And I don't know how. It's not like I got cards from my dad or anything like that. But I had this random Eddie Matthews card. And it wasn't this one, by the way. But I had this card, but it was really beat up. And so I sold that one raw. And then I kind of like thought, okay, in my head, all right, I'm going to replace this card. Because I looked at it for years as a kid. So I did that. So this is my upgraded version of the card, slabbed and in better condition. This is an Ed Matthews, or Eddie Matthews in the 1958 tops. This is card number 440. Matthews just kind of a player that I like to collect. Hit a ton of home runs over his career, but this one has nice sharp corners, pretty well centered, and I think looks pretty good for a PSA 4. I think the reason that it got dinged is this upper corner looks like maybe there's some like wear or something's going on there, or a stain. I'm not sure, but I just think the card looks to the naked eye wonderful, and I got to tell you, it looks about 3 times better than the raw one that I sold. So really excited. I just kind of like remembered, like, okay, I gotta get a nice clean version of that 58 Matthews, and now I have it. So that's a lot of fun, and happy to have it in the collection. So I hope you got a kick out of these vintage slabs, and I'm really excited about this direction or part of my collection, because I think it'll be a lot of fun. I want to continue to collect T206 and other vintage cards, but I realized that these made me really happy too, so having a lot of fun picking them up. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.